We are recording in advance, so there's some predictions here in terms of this week's top 10.
Oh, are we making it up, Ben?
I mean, we've got to be open here. It is not as late in August as we've led you to believe up until this point. So we're kind of guessing. And
here's
maybe
our
you can mark our
completely
homework.
made up fake news top 10.
Yeah, I mean, the best way to do this is just to dip into a pot of Pedro Pascal films, and maybe that will work, you know. So see, you guys, listeners out there, you tell us how well we did. Okay, at number 10, Superman, which you enjoyed, right?
I did. I enjoyed it much more than I thought I was going to, and I thought it was kind of cute. I mean, it is sort of all over the place, but it's sweet and good-natured, and that goes a long way at the moment.
At number 9, another reboot of sorts, Jurassic World Rebirth.
Good direction. Shame about. Did you see this, Ben?
Child 1 went to see it, and I was going to see it, but her review was pretty meh. So I thought, I think I can probably skip it.
Well, Child 1 in that case is very smart.
She is,
and that is exactly right. And the script is genuinely one of the worst scripts. I mean, it's just I can't believe that's what they went with.
Unacceptable. Number 8, Materialists.
Well, I would have expected Materialists to go in higher than this, Ben, but obviously in this completely made-up chart. I like Materialists. Sanjeev did a brilliant interview with Celine Song. I have never heard two people agree with each other more than that interview. It was amazing. I don't think it's on a par with Past Lives, but as I said, that is...
come on. What a movie that was.
And very few things are on a par with it, but I do think it's a kind of it's a sharp, intelligent rom-com about the dating scene, with good performances and good writing. It's just Past Lives is Past Lives, and that sort of pierced my soul. Whereas this kind of entertained me, and I thought it was it was sharply done, but just not brilliant.
I liked what she said about the protagonist at the beginning and the protagonist at the end disagreeing with each other from both sides.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah. I like that. At 7, The Bad Guys 2.
That's doing really well, isn't it? Hanging in there at number 7, Ben. That's great that's doing that. So Bad Guys 2 is, if you saw Bad Guys 1, it's that. It's just more of that.
Okay. And at number 6, oh my gosh, we've only done 5 here, and 4 of them are either remakes or sequels or reboots. Yeah. The Naked Gun. Rebooted.
So I have to ask you, please tell me you haven't wasted your time going to see this.
Of course I haven't. Should I tell you the way I felt about this? The second I saw the poster, or I was informed that there was a trailer, I was listening to an older edition of this podcast, and you were talking about the regenerated version of The Wizard of Oz. And you said, I have to be honest, I haven't seen it, so I have to withhold some judgment, but it just doesn't fill my heart with joy, And that's kind of how I feel about this. I mean, I can't say it's terrible because I haven't watched it. I also have no desire to see it. I don't know if you remember when Steve Martin felt, hey, did Sellers really nail Clouseau? I'm not sure. I'm going to have a bash. It's just, don't do it. Someone's nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. I think you said about Leslie Nielsen, nobody could do what he did. And it's true. He was a one-off in that particular job.
Because he just underplayed everything.
Exactly.
Yeah, he underplayed everything. He played it completely straight. And what Liam Neeson does in this is he sells every gag, and the gags aren't that funny. I laughed once. I think the charitable way of looking at this would be that it's a 25-minute sketch squeezed into an hour-and-a-half movie. But I didn't even think the 25-minute sketch was particularly funny. So, yeah. Anyway, good to see it's going down the charts that we've made up.
I don't know what could be the motive. Sex, Frank? Not right now, Ed. We're on duty.
That was very good. It was like he was in the room.
At number 5, Together.
Well, I'm so pleased this has done so well and has zoomed in at number 5 because I mean, the thing with Together is it is a body horror rom-com about what it means to find your other half, quite literally. And I thought it was really well done. I really enjoyed it. I thought the scrungy bits were really scrungy and the romantic bits were really romantic. And we played a clip last week that involved the buzzsaw, that scene is just remarkable. Anyway, I thought it was really sharp and really well done. I liked it a lot, and I'm glad to see it's doing so well in the chart that we've made up.
Excellent. And we're not done with the reboots or sequels. At number 4 is Freakier Friday,
which is so much better than I had expected it to be. I went in with a heavy heart, thinking, "Really? Do I really need to do this?" And then I laughed, and then, as I said when I reviewed it, not only did I laugh, for the last 10 minutes when it's all the sort of, everyone solves all their problems and they all realise that they all love each other, I actually started crying. So, it got me in the feels, which was completely unexpected.
As I heard in the review before this, and I thought, wow, that's where Mark is at now. He's crying at Freakier Friday.
Yeah, that is where I'm at, Ben. Thank you for putting it in those very blunt terms.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I respect it. And at number 3, we have the Fantastic Four, First Steps.
Which I liked very much. I love the design. I like the way it looked. I mean, obviously, the more crashy, bashy, smashy it gets, the less interested I am. But for a lot of it, and it's good to see Pedro Pascal getting a role because he needs work.
Yeah, he's really struggling.
I mean, yeah. I saw a picture of him on Hollywood Boulevard. Will act for money. So if anyone's out there, please give him some work. He clearly needs some work.
Yeah, I mean, he's just hit 50 and become Olivia Colman, hasn't he? He's just in everything. Fair play to him. Fair play.
That's a good comparison.
Yeah. At number 2 is Nobody 2,
which I liked. I mean, I as I said when I interviewed Bob Odenkirk, that was a real thrill for me because I
can't wait to hear that. I'm not up to that point yet.
It's good, and he was very funny. And I went into Nobody. I said to him at the beginning, look, I went because I loved Nobody so much. I went into this with a sense of, on the one hand, thrill, on the other hand, absolute dread that you don't mess it up. And he went, oh, there we go. That's the English cynicism. There it is, right on. I said, no, but I'm just telling you, it's the truth. And then a bit later on, he said, yeah, well. He said, people say to me, why did you do this movie? Well, money, obviously, but also because he said he'd had so many fans coming up to him and talking to him about Nobody rather than Better Call Saul or whatever.
Yeah, it had a real cult feel to it, didn't it?
Yeah. And I think they have managed very, very well to reproduce an awful lot of what was very good about the first film. I mean, obviously, it doesn't have the absolute simple clarity of the first film, which is boring schlub 9 to 5, but suddenly his violent past comes back to to free him. But I really enjoyed it, and the greatest compliment I can give is at the end of it. I thought, well, I could do that a third time, So wow. Yeah, I really liked it.
Wow. Okay. Well, that is the number one, the official UK number one official is Weapons, and it's official because
which I thought was.
We say is.
It's official because we have officially said it's number one. Is that right? That's why it's official. Okay, yes. Fine. I really like Weapons. It is 5 films going on at the same time, which is fine. The more I think about it, the more I think that there is a lot going on underneath the surface. And when I talked about it the first time, I said, it's funny because it sort of raises these specters of things that it might be about, but then it seems to sort of move on from them. But actually, I do think. And I did say this when I was reviewing it, I do think it is about the modern malaise of American society. There's so much of it that absolutely rings true in Trump's America. And I think it does the thing that horror films do when they're at their best, and this is the same with Together, is that it uses fantasy as a way of talking about things that are very real and very, very down to earth. And it's very entertaining. Nobody is going to come out of Weapons thinking, well, I was underserved. I mean, if you don't like this particular bit of the movie, don't worry. There'll be another bit coming along in a minute that will be completely different. So I did like it very much.
Is it unusual in your experience to have a period like this that isn't October, to have so many horrors doing so well?
Yeah, it's incredibly encouraging. It is really, really encouraging that right now, those 3 that you cite, Together, Weapons, and Bring Her Back, are all playing in UK cinemas all at the same time. And I think, it's great. Just the only thing I would say is I'm very glad to see that people have stopped using that stupid term elevated horror. These are not elevated horror films. They are horror films. All horror is elevated. But it is. It's like people saying, oh, that's not comedy. That's elevated comedy because the jokes are about something.